All right, lesson 5, quality. What is food quality? So we covered consistency, we covered calorie balance, we covered macros, and now we're going to talk about the quality of your food, because quality of your food is important. But if we are not taking in consideration the macro makeup of the foods you're eating and the total daily calories you are consuming, and we are not consistently doing it, food quality doesn't matter at all. You can eat the best food in the world, the highest quality food, and you could still just have no idea why you're not seeing progress and be more confused than when you started. So, food quality, it's not just what you eat, it's how it serves you. What is food quality? Not all calories are created equal. Now, we know that from the macro breakdown, but now let's talk about it in context of food quality. So, calories equal quantity. Quality is measured by micronutrients, fiber, and the macro makeup of the foods you are eating. And so, food quality affects your hunger and cravings, your energy level, your digestion, as well as your recovery and your performance. If we look over here, we have two pictures, which they're not quite to scale, but they're pretty close, actually. 500 calories of junk food is a small handful of some kind of M&Ms, French fries, and a very small and sad slice of pizza. So that's much less volume, less filling per calorie, and less protein and fiber, as well as fewer micronutrients as the plate on the other side. So 500 calories of whole food, this is kind of what it does look like, is you got a ton of veggies there, you have a potato, and you have a couple chicken breasts. So more volume, much more filling, more protein and fiber, and many more micronutrients per calorie than the junk food. The junk food, you'd eat all that and you'd want more. And then even once you finish that, you'd never be satisfied because your body wants nutrients and you're just craving more and more and more. Whereas on the other side, if you ate that, you'd look at the junk food and you might take like 2 or 3 M&Ms and be like, all right, I'm good. So what makes a food high quality? You're going to eat foods that work for you, not against you. So high quality foods are packed with nutrients, not just calories. They keep you full longer. They support your digestion, energy, and recovery, and they mostly come from whole sources, typically not packages. So high quality food keeps you full, feeling great, and moving forward. Something I like to separate is that whole foods are important. Processed foods, which you can think of that as something as simple as cheese or Greek yogurt, or there's a ton of different bars out there that are made with whole foods just put together through processing. So we're not against processed foods. We are just trying to get as much nutrients for the food we are eating. So we're looking for nutrient-dense foods, not necessarily just whole foods. So some examples of high-quality foods and whole foods, for the most part, are proteins, eggs, lean meats, fish, and tofu. Veggies, things like broccoli, spinach, carrot, squash. Fruits, berries, apples, citrus. Carbs, potatoes, rice, oats, beans, and then fats, olive oil, avocado, nuts, and seeds. And we already kind of talked about that stuff, but those are just some examples of high quality, nutrient dense filling foods. So here's a common thing I hear all the time. So I barely eat and can't lose weight, or I eat a ton and stay lean. What's the difference? Food quality and calorie density. So a handful of nuts. Okay, people think nuts are a great go-to, which they are, but they're just full of calories. That's why they're in trail mix, because when you're out on the trail, you just need a big hit of calories and you don't want to spend a lot of time or energy consuming huge amounts of calories. So nuts, really easy. That little handful, more than 400 calories. Your morning muffin and coffee drink is around 700 calories, give or take. It can be much more depending on what drinks or muffins you use. But that would leave you very unsatisfied and you'd feel like you ate almost nothing. And then on the other side, we got eggs, bread, fruit and veggies, and some kind of yogurt, and then a little bit of salsa there, I think. All of that is 400 calories, but that's definitely going to keep you a lot more satiated than the 700 calorie drink and muffin. And so we're just trying to get more volume in. And then also that plate has 10 times the nutrients of the drink and muffin, unless there's something magical in it. So again, we're going for nutrients per calorie, not just calories or not just macros. Why we crave indulgent foods. This is one of my favorite things because there's so many conspiracy theories out there about everyone's trying to keep us sick and unhealthy by the foods that they make, but they make the foods because we buy them, because they taste good, because your cravings are not a lack of discipline, they're by design. Processed food is engineered to keep you coming back. There are people who are paid a lot of money to learn what is it about food that makes you want to consume more of it, because when you consume more of it, you buy more of it. It's not that they want to keep you sick, they just want to keep you buying it. So it blends sugar, fat, and salt to make stopping hard. You're reacting exactly how it was designed to. And so all that food tastes amazing for a reason. It's not a willpower problem. It's the hyper palatable food that there's a lot of money pushed behind to make it taste absolutely perfect for the human palate to nonstop crave and nonstop eat the food because it's just more money. And so if you're trying to fight these cravings with willpower, you're going to lose because brownies always taste good. French fries will always taste good. And if you're a person who doesn't think that, then congratulations. This is a lot easier for you than the rest of us. Side note, very, very important, especially when we're trying to make positive choices to our diet, because I've done this many, many times, is that when you start eating mostly whole food sources or nutrient dense foods, less processed choices, they lose a lot of the salt. So not just the flavor. Okay. So you need to add it back in. Your body needs it. And I'll go on a tangent here in a minute, but your body needs salt. And when you go from processed food, you're eating a ton, to non-processed food, you're eating almost none. And then you feel terrible because your body needs salt. So food quality recap. Now, food quality equals nutrient density. So we're looking for as many nutrients per calorie as possible. We're going to maximize our nutrients per calorie. Okay, those are what superfoods are. There was that time, I haven't heard it in a long time, where every couple months there was a new superfood. There was like, what was it? Blueberries, kale, I think avocados for a little bit. And come to find out, everything that is a whole food is so nutrient dense that it's basically a superfood. So superfoods are just whole foods because they have more nutrients. It's not about eating less. It's about eating the right foods to support your goal. And processed foods are designed to make you want to come back for more. It's not a you problem. It's that the food tastes so good. And then above all, don't forget to add salt back in. Okay. Salt your food to taste. If it tastes bland, that's a good sign you need more salt. Okay. Your body's really smart. It wants salt. It needs salt. Don't be scared of salt. Salt's really good for you. The average active adult doesn't get enough. I'm not going to go into that right now. But if you start to notice things like low energy, muscle cramps, headaches, fatigue, brain fog, that has a lot more to do with sodium than anything else that we try to dive down rabbit holes on, especially if you start eating healthier, just because we forget to add it back in or it's demonized and you just feel terrible. So please, please, please salt your food to taste. Lesson 6, the top of the hierarchy, we're going to go into timing and why timing is important, but why it's not more important than the others.